Hey, what's up, y'all? I am back doing dishes again. I know my sink is a mess. I know that my sink is a mess. Happy Tuesday. Hope y'all are having fun. Hope y'all are getting to live that life. Wish I could live. Of course, next home. I'm at home today. Yes, I'm still getting over basically being sick. Still getting over being sick, as you all know. If y'all don't see an update from me Friday, y'all know, because I have to go do things with my boyfriend. But, I know, I'm trying to remember where I left off at yesterday, in the areas where I was talking. I can't remember where I left off at. Oh, I know where I left off at. I just haven't thought about it. I know, I just remembered where I left off at. So, I had moved from, well, I know where I left off at. I had just moved in with my uncle at that time. And of course, I didn't know if Jamie was going to be following me. He was staying in Harrison in his car at that time. And he was constantly calling me, blowing me up, blowing me up, blowing me up, blowing me up and shit at that time. He was constantly complaining about how bad the cops were and how he was getting harassed and all this shit and everything else. And so what had happened was he was like, man, I wish I could come out to like Westchester so I could be closer to you because you're my only friend, da 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 da, this and that. Well, around that time, he got into some bullshit with the law, and he had a warrant out for like his daggone arrest. And what that warrant was about was for the Super 8 hotel in Harrison. And so he thought he could run on the law. And what had happened was, me and him had gotten into it before that. And it was something to do with, I can't remember what, but I know it was something to do with something. So I didn't give it any thought at that time. I didn't give it any actual thought around that time. And so one day I had gotten off of work. And so everybody was texting me, blowing me up, like, hey, have you talked to Jamie? I was like, no, why? So I called his phone, I called his phone, I called his phone, I called his phone, I called his phone. And so I didn't get like any answer. So I was like, okay, so I called one of my closest homies that was living in Harrison that was homeless. And around this time, he was staying at the park over in Harrison because he was fucking homeless. And so he was like telling these people that the cops was bothering him, driving him nuts. Shit. Man, god damn it. hold on, y'all. Y'all might not be seeing me for a short amount of time. And, the reason why he was homeless was because he was sitting there lying to everybody, telling everybody that he got this apartment and he was living in an apartment and all this shit. And, he wasn't living in a daggone apartment. And he was staying with a bunch of guys that were also on the run from the goddamn law. And so the guys he knew was the same people I knew. And so what had happened is that, sorry y'all, I gotta put some more water in this to thaw this bitch out. Yes, y'all, I'm making fucking pancakes again for breakfast. I'm trying to find the thing I was looking for. But, anyways, he was staying at the park up in Harrison with a bunch of guys that was fucking homeless. And these guys was on the run. One of them was on the run for dating an underage minor, and other one was on the run for some kind of other shit. I can't remember what. Gotta get this unthawed. And, trying to remember. And so I had contacted one of the guys that was staying with him and all this shit. Well, that guy had proceeded to tell me that he was running his mouth, saying all kinds of dumb bullshit. I don't remember what. But the cops had showed up. And they said that Jamie got arrested around that time. And everything else. And I was like, got arrested for what? And they said something to do with the hotel situation and all this shit. And I was like, here we go again. And of course, shit. Damn it, every time I try to do something, I never have anything I need. And they were saying something like he had gotten arrested for the shit that was going on at the hotel. And that he was in the Hamilton County CJC. And I was like, no way. They're like, yeah, he got arrested. So I happened to get on the CJC website in Hamilton County. It means the Hamilton County Correctional Facility website, and when I typed in his name, bada boom, bada bam, he popped up. And I was like, no way. No way, no way, no way. And during that whole entire time, I had called everybody that we all knew. And I was like, you won't believe what I found out, blah, 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 you know, this, that. And so everybody's like, what's going on? So I said to the people I know, I was like, you will not believe what I know. And they're like, what? I was like, well, Jamie got arrested for the charge at the hotel. And they're like, you're shitting me. I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, you gotta be joking. I'm like, no, I'm not joking. And they're like, when did he actually get arrested? And I told them. And they're like, he's about to be Bubba's bitch, because all Jamie knows how to fucking do is run his mouth and come up with these lies and all this shit. Well, at the time, I was working at Maple Street Biscuit Company over in Deerfield Township. And if y'all know where that's at, y'all know. And one day I was at work, and my phone rang. And it was the Hamilton County fucking probate actual attorney that was representing him. And was wanting to talk to me and know what I know about the case and everything else. And they're like, well, this is what's going on with him, blah, 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 blah. He wanted us to give you a call. And I'm thinking at that time, I'm like, why call me? I'm not his girlfriend. I'm not anybody that is relation, basically, to him. And the lawyer's like, well, he wanted us to give you a call because you're his only close friend. And I told the attorney, I said, I am his associate. It's just somebody I know. So they're like, well, he has to go to court on this date, this time. Can you come down? I'm like, no, I can't, because I have to work. And so they was like wanting me to give a statement. So I did. And during that time, my daughter's dad had gotten a hold of me. And he was like, yo, what's going on? And I'm like, you would not believe what's going on. Jamie got arrested for this shit at the hotel, finally. And he is about to go in front of a judge. So about a couple days later, he goes in front of a judge. And I can't remember what all happened. The day that he was supposed to get out of court and get out of jail, Jamie calls me. And I'm at work again, and he's like, well, can you come and get me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, for one, you know I can't come and get you. And he's like, oh, never mind, I'll call Rock. And Rock's real name is Rocky Adams. He owns a company called Adams Water. And so, supposedly, he tried to get a hold of Rock. Rock didn't answer. So he got a hold of our buddy, which is, his name is Daggone Glenn, which is a buddy of mine, who used to work on my car. And so Glenn had offered to pay for him a daggone Uber to get back home. So he had took him from downtown Cincinnati back up to freaking Harrison. And so at that time, I can't remember if he had a vehicle or not. No, he didn't. And so he had went back on the run again with a bunch of guys. The one guy was wanted in like Indiana, and the other one was wanted for a bunch of shit. I can't remember what, but I mean, it was just fucking insane. While I was living in Westchester, about 2 months later, he calls me. He's like, oh, yo, what's up? Guess what happened to me? I'm like, what? He was like, oh, I got a car. I was like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, I did. And he's like, oh, I can come and get you. And I'm like, here we go again. And, so around that time, I had just gotten a job with Dunkin' Donuts. And so he was like, oh, I can take you to work. I can help you. So I was just taking him up as a associate / just friend. And he's like, I can take you to work. I can help you out. This, that. So around that time that he was helping me out, taking me to work, all this and all that, he thought in his mind that meant, oh, we can be together as a couple. And I told him no. Because at that time, I was seeing a guy, and I prefer not to bring this person's name out. I'm just going to put it like that. And I had told him, I said, I have a boyfriend. You can just take me to work, and that's it. And so he was like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to argue about it. And so around that time, he was helping me, like, with a lot of shit. He was he was taking me to work and all this shit. So after a while, things started going crazy. And what I mean by that is that things kind of got out of hand. And so I'm on probably move y'all here in a second. So just be listening. So what had happened was that after a while, he started acting weird. And I didn't think anything about it at the time. I didn't, because I really didn't. And so he just started becoming more weird, more possessive, more just totally awkward. And he started causing me drama. Started talking like, oh, you know I want to be with you, blah, 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 blah. If I can't be with you, I'm going to pull a gun. I'm going to, like, end my life. And I'm like, here we go again. And, hold on, y'all. So, after a while, we had gotten into it. Me and him got into it. And I had just told him I had enough. Like, I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I had just had enough. And y'all are probably not going to be able to hear me, but he was just not acting like himself. And so I told him at the time I was going through, like, a lot of problems with my back and a lot of problems with my health and all this shit. And the guy I was with at the time, he was not happy about with Jamie basically being around me. And he was, oh God, it caused me all kinds of hell. And my boyfriend at the time was literally throwing a fit. Like, literally throwing a motherfucking fit over it. And he was like, I don't want this guy around you, blah, 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 this, that. And so like, at that time, my boyfriend, he was this, I guess I could just give y'all a little short story about him. He was this little gangsta thug, and my boyfriend was not happy about it. And I told him, I said, it's nothing to worry about, it's just a person I know, you know, all this and all that. And he was like, I don't care, you're my girl, you shouldn't have no other guys around you, all this and all that. And after a while, it started getting really annoying. And then, at that time too, I was technically hanging out with another guy. But this guy was not my boyfriend. He was just a friend that I was technically not interested in, but we were hanging out / hooking up every once in a while. And I was going through some shit then. And yeah, so I'm going to be leaving it at that point with that. So just continuously stay tuned. Deuces.